Hello, this is Roger Bailey from Developmental Discovery. This video is an introduction to our developmental checklist. This is one of the most popular facilities of our free membership site. With our checklist, you can identify and track your child's developmental progress over time. We will start by talking about our security measures. Then, if this is your first time using the checklist on this site, you'll have to register yourself and your child or children. Then you'll complete the checklist. Then you'll get a report. And then you can review all of your former developmental checklists, which the system maintains for you. You and your child's safety and security are important to us. We have established a privacy policy which is published on our membership site. You're encouraged to read that policy to make sure you understand our privacy, safety, and security attitudes and procedures. The data from your checklist is processed and maintained in a separate, secure database. No one will look at your child's specific checklist data unless you ask us to. We will collect statistics from aggregated checklist data to verify our operational integrity, and the resulting statistics do not identify any specific child or child's checklist report. If you are a first-time user, you will need to register yourself with the checklist subsystem. This establishes you as a developmental checklist user in that separate database. Then you have to add your child to the system. This is because you may want to establish and track the developmental checklist of multiple children in your family. Completing the checklist is simple. The system remembers your child's most recent checklist data, so you only have to mark the changes that your child has from the time before. As you complete the checklist, make your selections based on if your child has done this behavior or learned this task without respect to when they did it. The various stages of the checklist show months based on, generally, when the children go through that task. The checklist is organized by age, but your first time through, you want to start at the beginning and complete all of the sections of the checklist up to and even past their current age. Often, children have already started on some of the developmental tasks that are indicated for the section beyond their age. How do we make the selections in the line items of the checklist? Some are green, others are pink. How we decide to mark these items changes based on the color of the line item. Green line items are about what your child has learned. Has your child never learned this, or is your child unable to learn? Is your child beginning to learn this? Is your child continuing to learn this? Is your child ending the learning of this? Has your child finished or accomplished learning this? For instance, if the task is crawling, has your child never crawled? Is your child beginning the learning of crawling? Is your child continuing the task of learning to crawl? Is your child ending the task of learning to crawl? Or has your child finished or accomplished the task of learning how to crawl? Pink line items are about your child's current behavior. Has your child never done this, or is your child unable to do this? Is your child beginning to do this? Is your child continuing to do this? Is your child ending doing this? Has your child finished or accomplished doing this? If the line item is about hypersensitivity to sound, has your child never been hypersensitive to sound? Is your child beginning to be hypersensitive to sound? Is your child continuing to be hypersensitive to sound? Is your child ending being hypersensitive to sounds? Or has your child finished being hypersensitive to sound? Maybe you are not sure you can remember which is which. Well, as they say in Jersey, don't worry about it. If you click on the text of any line item throughout the whole checklist, an explanation will be displayed which describes the frame of reference for this specific line item. Just remember that there's a difference and click on the text of the line item to find out whether you need to be thinking about learning or current behavior on this line item. After you have selected all the line items which describe your child's developmental progress, click on the Submit button at the bottom of the page. In response to your submit, the system will display the Developmental Checklist report on which you are working. This report includes a graphic representation of the child's developmental progress, and it shows the details, including everything you selected on every line item of the whole checklist. Our system permits you to review any of the checklists you've already processed on our site. You can look at them anytime you're logged into our site. You can also print your reports on paper or to disk so you keep a personal copy available. We are happy and proud to bring you this unique developmental checklist. It provides general information and specific details about your child's developmental progress. This is a service of your free membership site, developmentaldiscovery.com.